Every other day, Western supplied weapons are killing civilians here in Donetsk and across Donbass. I am right now in the center of Donetsk. I have returned here to Donetsk. Of course, as you know, I'm many places around the war zone, but I've returned here to Donetsk to continue to cover the ongoing events here in the city itself, which is, as many know, the frontline city that borders Ukrainian-controlled territory of the Donetsk People's Republic. There's a lot of fighting going on now that has been, of course, increased since the spring came after the winter, and is going on. Like just today in the Donetsk area, particularly in Gorlivka, which is it's another city not far from Donetsk. There were 3 people killed when Ukraine opened fire on a dairy plant, and that was just today. And also in the city of Donetsk itself, there have been civilian homes and apartments damaged in both the Kievsky district and the Petrovka district. And this morning, I actually went to a location in the Kubashevsky district where day before yesterday, there were 3 children injured when Ukraine hit a market with artillery.
This is Ukrainian forces shelling areas that they say is Ukraine, killing people that they say are Ukrainians, even though you're telling me that the people are truly ethnic Russians and consider themselves Russians. Ukraine killing Ukrainians in Ukraine. Do I have that right?
Yes. This isn't just the last 18 months like the mainstream media would like people to think. This has been going on for 9 years, since 2014, when the local population of both Donetsk and Lugansk voted to break away from Ukraine. Sometimes it's a lot hotter in Donetsk as far as, constant attacks on the city center itself. Right now, it's not that situation. It's more towards the edge of the city, but every couple of months things change, and the Ukraine decides to hit the center a lot more actively and daily. But of course, on the front line, there's intense battles going on. I myself have shown some of these in my reports. I do my best to show what the Western mainstream media won't.
It's just remarkable, the reporting that you have given us, not just here, but your reporting as well. Because the mainstream media in the West doesn't cover this. Why does the mainstream media not cover this? Why are you the only one that is the only American, the only Western reporter that is revealing that Ukraine is bombing its own people?
Well, it just doesn't fit their narrative. I used to be a freelance journalist by selling my reports to different agencies, but once I saw how they were lying about my reports, I mean, it's still on YouTube. For example, when I was in the Lugansk area in Pervomaisk, I filmed a Ukrainian grad rockets hitting a soup kitchen, humanitarian soup kitchen. And I sold that footage, and it got lied about. And you can still find it today, where they say that it was Lugansk forces that fired on there when it was clearly Ukrainian. So once that happened, I decided, I'm just independent. I'm not going to sell my footage anywhere.
We understand that the Russian military has constructed 3 defensive rungs in order to repel or deter the so-called spring offensive. Do you know if the Ukrainian troops have approached or breached the first of those 3 defensive rings?
Well, that 100% not. They've made small advances here and there, and what they have made have been pushed back for the most part. But as far as getting through the actual the new defensive lines that have been put up, they haven't even made a dent.
How do you think this ends, and when do you think it ends?
By Russian law, this cannot stop until Russia fully controls those regions, regardless of whose opinions are what. Either Ukraine destroys Russia, which I think all of us realize that is not going to happen, or this is going to continue to go on, and the West is going to continue to give weapons to prolong this, and it's going to continue to go on until Russia has worn down all of the Western weapons, all of what's left of the Ukrainian military, until Russia controls all 4 of these newly Russian regions, as Russian law calls them. The only thing that's holding them up is the Western supplied weapons. That's why every day or every other day, Western supplied weapons are killing civilians here in Donetsk and across Donbass. But this is just going to continue to go on until the West can't supply any more weapons, or the West makes Ukraine give up what Russia considers Russian territory. Then it would stop. Like Russia told Ukraine at the beginning. So it's just going to keep going on. I have a feeling we've got another year, maybe 2, but, you know, I pray it ends tomorrow. But hopefully the amount of civilians that are losing their lives, and soldiers for that matter on both sides, ceases.